So you've just come off stage. Could you tell us like the 3 main takeaways? What do people really have to consider when they run their own company and run marketing?
Yeah, so I mean, what I actually talked about on stage was hyper tactical. I talked about how just adding this binary question to your lead capture forms we were able to add, so in all of our lead capture forms at Digital Marketer, we just added a question, are you an agency or marketing consultant serving businesses? Just, are you an agency? Because agencies are our highest value group. And in every business, there exist these high value segments. You've probably heard of the 80-20 rule.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
It exists in most people's businesses, but they don't know how to find them.
Yeah.
Once you identify what your high value segment is, I just simply said, ask people if they are in that segment on all of your lead capture forms so that you can segment them off. So a really simple tactic, but it increased our lead value, our immediate lead value by about $10. So a very simple tactic that really speaks to this broader message of one, know who your highest value segments are and create special offerings for them.
Exactly.
2, figure out ways to segment them utilizing the traffic and leads that you're already getting. And 3, be willing to talk to your customers.
Okay.
So many people, especially in a digital marketing perspective, they don't want to ever talk to their customers. They want to stay like in their, in their basement and never get out. Like, you got to talk to people if you want to learn who those high value segments are, what do they want, if you want to sell to them.
If you reflect on the last, I don't even know, decade or 2, some things that you're specifically proud of, like where do you think you shared the most value, or was it a personal success, or whatever it was be, can you share some of those?
I think all too often, people build businesses around one thing that is non-transferable. So, and so at Digital Marketer, that one thing that was non-transferable was this ugly mug right here. Right? My face was not going to transfer to somebody else. From an e-commerce perspective, we had a lot of really good offers that converted and they made good money. But what was non-transferable was all the value is in the offer themselves. We hadn't built actual brands around those products and services. So somebody had to believe that they were ever going to acquire their business, that if they were ever going to acquire one of our companies, that they could be as good at marketing and offer creation as we are. They probably wouldn't be as, right?
Probably not, no.
So that's a non-transferable asset. And so what we did is we said, let's really put a lot of the emphasis in the brand that's being created, so people just want to come and buy that. And we've been able to create brands in a number of different markets that we have been able to exit from. Now, the thing is, people say, yeah, but I never want to sell my business. That's fine. You should still seek to build the type of business that someone would want to buy.
Fantastic. So share some more of the challenges that you have faced and how you have overcome them. Speaking about learnings.
God, the challenges are so many. Traffic costs are higher, and they continue to get higher. The competition is more fierce. They're better. They're better than ever. But I can tell you, if I were to go back and look at every challenge that I've faced, it's always come down, funny enough, to cash flow. It's been less of a marketing problem and almost more of an accounting problem. So I don't want to bore you. I know we probably have a lot of marketers watching, but I was of the belief earlier on in my career that if there was enough top line, if there was enough revenue, there'd be some net revenue, there'd be some profit, some margin laying around there somewhere. And twice I've nearly grown companies into bankruptcy. Because I was not focusing
that's
on
very nice.
absolutely. And especially when you shift into physical products, if you go from affiliate into physical products, now you have inventory management constraints. So I had to learn budgeting. Which I was like, budgets are for broke people. Budgets are for people who don't know how to make sales. That's horse crap. That's just
you have an affiliate attitude right there.
And I was wrong. And it nearly cost me everything. And twice I've been right there on the brink. One time I showed up at the office one day expecting to have to lay off about 18 people. Because we weren't going to be able to make payroll. We had an unexpected merchant reserve release. They released some of our funds. They bought us the time to make payroll, and over the next 30 days we were able to dig out of the hole. But that's how close I got, because I was not watching cash flow. So monitor your cash flow like a hawk.
So where do you see the biggest opportunity actually for the people here? Let's say they have had some first success. They run affiliate campaigns, maybe in e-commerce. They're not in a space yet where it can take companies from 2 million to 20 million, but they do have experience in what they're doing and they're good at what they're doing. Where do you see the biggest opportunity for those guys?
Shifting it's a mindset shift from being offer-centric to being customer-centric. So often affiliates, e-commerce, it's the same type of mindset. They fall in love with a product.
Okay.
They have a product-centric business model. I want to sell this product.
Or at least vertical centric, right? I mean, I feel like sometimes they're...
Yeah, of course. I mean, so maybe it's a basket of products, but it's in the same kind of area, or there's a type of offer structure.
Right.
If you want to make the shift from 2 to 20, you have to pivot to being customer centric and to building a business that is about serving a market. No matter, and maybe that means you got to throw out a product one day and go back. I see affiliates in particular having an offer that hits and riding that thing until it's dead and then moving on to the next offer.
Yeah.
Well, they don't realize they built a massive database of a particular type of customer.
Yeah.
And you can market almost anything to that. Make that shift. That's the biggest opportunity. You know how to generate a customer?
Right.
Don't focus on the customer, on the product, focus on the customer.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
that
you.
was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.